Scams don't look like scams anymore. They don't come from a stranger with bad grammar asking you to wire money to a prince. They come disguised as your bank, your delivery service, your own family member texting from a new number. They're built to slide into the habits you already trust, checking your phone, tapping a link, answering a call that looks legitimate. And that's exactly why so many careful, smart people still lose money to them. Today I'm going to walk you through 5 defensive moves, not theory. Actual settings you can turn on and habits you can build in the next 10 minutes that make you a genuinely hard target. By the end of this video, you'll have a checklist, and you'll know exactly where to report it if a scam ever does reach you. Let's get into it. Let me tell you about a scam that's been spreading quietly because it's small enough to fly under the radar, and that's exactly the point. A woman gets a text. It looks like it's from her bank's fraud department. It says there's been unusual activity on her account and asks her to confirm a recent transaction by replying yes or no. She didn't make any strange purchase, so she replies no. Seconds later, her phone rings. Caller ID shows her bank's real customer service number. The person on the line already knows her name and mentions the last 4 digits of her card. He sounds calm, professional, exactly like a fraud analyst should. He tells her that because she flagged the transaction, he needs to verify her identity to reverse it, and asks her to read back a code that's about to arrive by text. That code was a real one-time passcode, but it wasn't for reversing anything. It was the code to approve a money transfer out of her account. The moment she read it aloud, the scammer used it to move $900 out in about 90 seconds. Here's what makes this one dangerous. Nothing about it looked like a scam. The number matched her real bank. The scammer already had pieces of her real information, likely from a previous data leak. The whole call was designed around one simple trick: get her to say a 6-digit code out loud. This kind of scam is now one of the most common ways people lose money because it doesn't rely on you being careless. It relies on you being polite and cooperative with someone who sounds exactly like they're supposed to be there. And the financial impact isn't just the money that disappears in that moment. It's the hours spent on hold with the real bank afterward. It's the new cards, the changed passwords, the sinking feeling of checking your balance for weeks afterward. Small-scale scams like this one usually aren't life-ruining amounts of money, but they add up across millions of people, and they're built to be repeatable, which is why you're going to see variations of this same trick again and again. So, let's fix that. Here are 5 defenses that would have stopped this exact scam and stop most of the ones you'll run into. Defense 1. 2-factor authentication set up the right way. 2-factor authentication, or 2FA, means that logging in or approving a transaction takes 2 things: your password and a second proof that it's really you. Here's the quick demo. Open your banking app right now, or do it the moment this video ends. Go into security settings. Look for 2-factor authentication or login verification. Turn it on. If the app gives you a choice, pick an authenticator app over text messages whenever you can, because text codes can sometimes be intercepted or, like in our example, talked out of you. The habit that matters more than the setting itself is this: a real bank will never call you and ask you to read a code back to them. Ever. A one-time code exists so that only you can approve something you initiated. If someone else is asking for it, whatever they're asking you to verify is actually them trying to get into your account. Full stop. Hang up and call your bank back using the number on the back of your card. Defense 2. Turn on real-time alerts. Most banking apps have a notification setting buried a few menus deep, and most people never turn it on. This is the single easiest change you can make today. Quick demo. Go into your app, find Notifications or Alerts, and turn on alerts for every transaction, no matter how small. Also turn on alerts for login attempts, password changes, and any change to your contact information. Why this matters: our woman from the earlier example found out about the fraud because she got a fake alert. If she'd already had real alerts turned on, she would have immediately noticed the actual transfer hit her account within seconds, while the scammer was still on the phone, giving her a chance to hang up and call the real fraud line before the money fully cleared. Alerts turn a scam you find out about days later into one you catch in real time. Defense 3. Vendor vetting before you pay anyone new. This one covers online shopping scams, fake invoices, and urgent payment requests from businesses or contractors you haven't worked with before. The quick demo here is a simple two-step check. Before paying any new vendor, contractor, or online store for the first time, first, search the business name plus the word reviews or scam in a separate browser tab, not through a link they sent you. Second, if it's a company you can call, look up their number independently. Don't use the number on the invoice they emailed you. And confirm the payment request is real before sending anything. This same habit stops the classic urgent invoice scam that hits small business owners and freelancers constantly, where someone impersonates a supplier and simply changes the bank details on an otherwise normal-looking invoice. A 30-second independent check catches almost all of these. Defense 4. Holding patterns for any request involving money or codes. This is less of a setting and more of a rule, and it's the most powerful one on this list because it works even against scams that haven't been invented yet. The rule is simple. Any message or call that creates urgency around money, codes, or personal information gets a mandatory pause. Not skipped, paused. Give yourself 60 seconds minimum before responding to anything that says act now. Your account will be locked, or confirm immediately. Quick demo of how to apply it. If a text says there's suspicious activity, don't reply to the text and don't call any number it gives you. Open your banking app separately or call the number on your physical card. If someone calls claiming to be your bank, your power company, or even a family member in an emergency, tell them you'll call them back on a number you already have and actually do it. Scammers rely on you staying on their line, in their timeline, reacting in the moment. A 60-second pause and a callback on your own terms breaks almost every version of this scam. Defense 5. Separate your money, so one mistake can't drain everything. Even with the best habits, no one is perfect 100% of the time. This last defense limits the damage if something does slip through. Keep your everyday spending in one account with a limited balance, and keep the bulk of your savings in a separate account that isn't linked to a debit card you carry around or use for daily purchases. Many banks let you set daily transfer limits and require extra verification for any transfer above a certain amount. Turn that on too. Quick demo. In your banking app, look for transfer limits or account limits in settings, and set a cap that would stop a large sudden transfer, one you'd have to manually approve with extra verification if you ever needed to move a bigger amount. This way, even if a scammer gets one code or one weak moment from you, they hit a wall instead of your entire balance. Those are your 5 defenses. Two-factor authentication done right, real-time alerts turned on, independent vendor vetting, a mandatory pause on urgent requests, and separated accounts with transfer limits. Any one of these alone helps. Together, they would have stopped the scam. We talked about earlier before a single dollar moved. Let's turn this into something you can actually use today. Here's your 5-point checklist. 1. Turn on two-factor authentication in your banking app, preferably through an authenticator app. 2. Turn on real-time transaction and login alerts. 3. Independently verify any new vendor or unexpected invoice before paying. 4. Build in a 60-second pause on anything urgent and always call back using a number you already trust. 5. Separate your everyday spending account from your main savings and set transfer limits. Now, if a scam does reach you, and even the most careful people occasionally get targeted, here's what to do, step by step. First, if money has already moved, call your bank immediately using the number on your card, not any number given to you in a text or call, and tell them you believe you're a victim of fraud. Ask them to freeze the account and start a fraud claim. Second, report it to your country's official fraud reporting service. Reporting isn't just paperwork. It helps banks and investigators track patterns and shut down scam operations that are hitting thousands of other people the exact same way. Third, change your passwords, especially if you gave out a code, clicked a link, or entered any information. Do this from a device you know is safe, not through any link related to the scam. Fourth, tell someone. Scammers count on shame and embarrassment keeping people quiet, which lets the same scam keep working on the next person. Telling a friend, a family member, or even leaving a review warning others is genuinely useful, not embarrassing. Here's the honest truth. You can't scam-proof the world. New tricks show up every year. But you can absolutely make yourself a hard target, and that's really the whole game. Scammers are running a numbers business. They need volume, and they need easy targets. Every defense you just set up moves you out of the easy pile. Go turn on two-factor authentication right now, before you do anything else today. It takes 2 minutes, and it's the single highest leverage thing in this entire video. If this helped you, consider subscribing for more videos like this one, where we break down exactly how financial threats work and exactly how to defend against them. No jargon, no fear-mongering, just what actually works. Stay sharp, protect what you've built, and I'll see you in the next one.